Ever wondered why Mexico's bustling cities are nestled deep in its heartland, rather than adorning its vast coastlines? Spanning over 2 million square kilometers, Mexico is a country of stunning natural wonders and rich cultural diversity. Its coastline stretches for approximately 7,000 kilometers, hugging the Pacific Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico, offering a visual spectacle of varied landscapes. Yet, paradoxically, you'll find its most populous and vibrant cities situated not along these coastal lines, but rather in the country's interior. Now, isn't that a geographical conundrum? Let's dive into this demographic enigma. About 40% of Mexico's population, which roughly translates to 52 million people, reside in an area that comprises a mere 7% of the country's total territory. Now, this might seem counterintuitive considering the global trend of major population clusters hugging the coastlines. So, what exactly is causing this peculiar population distribution in Mexico? To understand this, we need to look at a variety of factors. The unique interplay of Mexico's climate and geography, the looming threat of natural disasters, and the indelible imprints left by historical events have all contributed to shaping this distinctive demographic pattern. Straddling the Tropic of Cancer, Mexico's diverse terrain nestles within temperate and tropical zones. Its coastal areas are subject to extreme weather conditions, from the tropical humidity of the Pacific to the desert-like aridity of the Gulf. Contrastingly, the interior regions offer more temperate climates, making them ideal for habitation and economic activities. Moreover, the coastlines of Mexico are no strangers to the devastating impacts of hurricanes. These natural calamities pose significant challenges to the development and expansion of large coastal cities. Historical influences also play a crucial role. Spanish colonizers in search of a climate similar to their homelands, and driven by the pursuit of silver and gold, established their settlements primarily in the interior regions. While the past has seen Mexico's interior cities thrive, the present and future might paint a different picture. Coastal cities like Tijuana, Cancun and Cabo are beginning to flourish, indicating a possible shift in Mexico's demographic trends. Now, let's delve deeper into the role of climate and geography in Mexico's population distribution. Crossing the Tropic of Cancer, Mexico's location gifts it a potpourri of climates. But how does this impact where Mexicans choose to live? Imagine a country where the weather can be as diverse as its people. A country where one can experience the frosty bite of winter in the northern Sierra, while simultaneously basking in the tropical warmth of the southern coast. Welcome to Mexico, a land of climatic contrasts. The geographical position of Mexico, straddling temperate and tropical zones, gifts it a diverse climate palette, ranging from temperate to tropical wet and dry, and even arid. Now, let's consider the coastal zones. Along the Pacific and the Gulf of Mexico, the weather can be a bit of a drama queen, oscillating from extreme humidity to desert-like dryness. Not exactly the ideal environment for a bustling city, right? In contrast, the interior regions offer a more temperate and pleasant climate, particularly around the area of Mexico City. So how exactly does this climatic variation impact where Mexicans choose to live? Well, it's quite simple, really. People generally prefer places where the climate is comfortable and predictable. And the interior of Mexico, with its temperate climate, offers just that. This is one of the key reasons why we see a higher concentration of population in the interior regions, in stark contrast to the global trend of populations clustering near coastlines. But it doesn't stop there. This climate variation has significantly influenced the location of the country's residential and economic areas. The temperate zones of the interior have traditionally been more conducive to agriculture and industry, leading to the development of major cities away from the coast. But it's not just the climate. The threat of natural disasters also plays a role in this demographic puzzle. Yes, my friends, we are talking about the big, bad hurricanes that frequently visit Mexico's coasts. But more on that in the next scene. Stay tuned. Imagine living with the constant threat of devastating hurricanes. This is the reality for many along Mexico's Pacific and Atlantic coasts. Mexico's geographical location straddling the hurricane belt makes it a frequent target of these mighty storms. The hurricane season, lasting from June to November, brings with it a dance of destruction. These cyclonic tempests, born over the warm ocean waters, stir up fierce winds and torrential rains, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. Coastal regions, particularly those along the Pacific and Atlantic coasts, bear the brunt of these storms. The potential for such destruction makes these areas less ideal for large-scale urban expansion. After all, why would you build a city where a hurricane could wipe out years of development in a single sweep? But it's not just the physical damage these hurricanes cause. The economic toll can be equally, if not more, devastating. The recovery and rebuilding efforts drain resources, diverting them from other critical areas such as education, healthcare, and infrastructure development. This economic impact, coupled with the physical destruction, further discourages urbanization along these vulnerable coastlines. Yet it is important to note that not all coastal regions are equal in their exposure to hurricanes. The Pacific coast, particularly the Baja California Peninsula, is more prone to hurricanes than the Gulf Coast. This is due to the warmer oceanic currents along the Pacific, which fuel the formation of these storms. This geographical factor has further skewed population distribution, with fewer large cities found along the Pacific than the Gulf Coast. But hurricanes aren't the only natural phenomena influencing Mexico's population distribution. The country's diverse topography, ranging from low coastal plains to high mountain ranges, also plays a part. The higher altitude regions, particularly around Mexico City, offer respite from the extreme weather conditions of the coast, attracting more settlers and leading to denser population clusters. Yet this pattern isn't just shaped by nature. Human history, particularly the era of Spanish colonization, has left indelible marks on Mexico's population distribution. When the Spanish colonizers arrived in Mexico, their preferences and pursuits significantly influenced the country's demographic landscape. Let's take a trip back in time to the 16th century, when Spanish colonizers first set foot on Mexican soil. These newcomers, hailing from a land of temperate climates, were not particularly fond of Mexico's humid coastal regions or its arid deserts. They sought areas that offered a climate more akin to what they were used to back home. Consequently, they established their main cities in the interior where the climate was more temperate, setting a demographic pattern that persists to this day. This demographic trend wasn't solely driven by the Spanish preference for a more temperate climate. Another powerful motivator was the lure of precious metals. Mexico, in its interior, held vast reserves of silver and gold. The pursuit of these riches directed further development into the heartland of the country. Cities like Guanajuato, Zacatecas, and San Luis Potosi, which are located in the interior of Mexico, became major mining hubs during the colonial era. The wealth generated from these mines not only led to the growth of these cities, but also attracted a significant population, contributing to the demographic tilt towards the interior. This historical influence of Spanish colonization is deeply etched into Mexico's landscape. The grand colonial architecture in many of these interior cities bears witness to this past. The influence extends beyond the physical structures, shaping the demographic and economic patterns of the nation. However, as we look towards the future, we must acknowledge that this historical trend of population distribution might undergo a transformation. The coastal cities of Mexico are beginning to thrive, driven by factors like tourism and foreign investments. While history has shaped Mexico's population distribution, the future might paint a different picture. Once overshadowed by their inland counterparts, Mexico's coastal cities are beginning to make waves. The tides are turning, so to speak, as cities like Tijuana, Cancun, and Cabo are blooming, bolstered by the powerful currents of tourism and foreign investment. Lured by the enchanting beauty of the azure waters and sandy beaches, tourists from around the globe are flocking to these coastal havens, pumping vitality into their economies. Tijuana, once a small border town, has metamorphosed into a bustling metropolis, its growth spurred by its proximity to the United States. Cancun, a city barely 50 years old, has emerged as a world-renowned resort destination, its hotels and nightlife a testament to its burgeoning success. And Cabo, with its luxurious resorts and world-class golf courses, is a magnet for those seeking a slice of paradise. Yet these cities are not just holiday hotspots. They are evolving into vibrant economic centers, their growth propelled by sectors as diverse as manufacturing, real estate and IT. Tijuana, for instance, is a hub for the manufacture of electronics and medical devices. Cancun's real estate market is booming, with investors drawn to its promising returns. And Cabo, with its state-of-the-art infrastructure, is attracting tech companies seeking to tap into Mexico's burgeoning IT talent pool. This flourishing of coastal cities is not just reshaping Mexico's economic landscape, but also challenging the historical tradition of interior development. These cities, once peripheral players, are now stepping onto center stage, their rise signaling a shift in Mexico's demographic and economic patterns. But this shift is not without its challenges. Balancing rapid urban growth with environmental sustainability, ensuring equitable distribution of economic gains, and managing the impacts of climate change are issues that these cities, like their inland counterparts, will need to grapple with. As we've seen, Mexico's population distribution is a fascinating tapestry, woven from threads of geography, climate, history, and evolving economic trends. So the next time you look at a map of Mexico, you'll see more than just a country. You'll see a nation defying geographical norms. And if you liked this topic, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts below. Bye bye.